I tell you what, we've got important things to talk about with Tori Amos, but before we get to that, first, the best eyewear argument we've ever had on the show.
Oh, thank you guys.
And then, I don't know that you would necessarily remember, but you played here for us once, and it was one of the most extraordinary experiences we had here. So we welcome you back, and we're glad you're here.
Thanks.
Here's the thing. It shouldn't be difficult to talk about necessarily. Netflix called you up and approached you with what?
They said, do you hear music for this film? And to be honest, when I saw the film, Audrey and Daisy, I was numb and I couldn't speak because it's such a tough film, but it's a must film that you have to watch. And I watched it again, and then there was a mantra above Daisy's brother's head, and the muses started screaming to me as if they were the Valkyries and said, this is your way in to the song.
For the unfamiliar, Audrey and Daisy is about two girls who each are victims of sexual assault and how their towns respond to what happened to them. And I don't want to say polarizing, it's just devastating, really.
Yes, yes it is.
And as the mother of a daughter, did it strike you in that way as well?
Well, of course. I mean, I think that all parents need to see this film. All teenagers need to watch it as well. And what is honestly uplifting about the whole project is it is going into schools now. There are a few hundred schools that are going to be screening it and then discussing it.
We're going to look at the movie first, and then we'll actually show you a separate clip with the music Tori's provided for it. This is called Audrey and Daisy.
In a small town, everybody is connected.
A lot of these families have been here for generations.
It became more important to shield the boys than it did to find justice for the girls. The one that is kind of the banner for your community, you don't want to see them in trouble. You don't want to think those things about them. They're the heroes of small towns. I guess the wrong, if I want to say wrong, boy raped her.
Wow. When they contacted you, did they tell you at all what the movie was about and why you should at least watch it, or did they just say, look at this?
Well, they wanted me to have an impression of it without setting me up, because I think you either respond to a project, and especially a project as sensitive as this, you really have to be on board. And what was challenging was to honor both stories. Audrey isn't with us anymore, and so to acknowledge her tragedy. And I've since met her mother, who has now become an activist and is going into the schools with the Audrey Pott Foundation and talking to students. So, you know, she's an inspiration, although she's dealing with her grief still. And Daisy and Delaney, I was just with them last night, and they're superheroes. They are talking to teenagers, empowering them, and they really are they're guiding lights.
How long ago did this happen?
4 years ago.
4 years ago. So this is still very new to the mother who lost her child. And
yes.
Yeah.
The song that Tori put together is called Flicker. Here it is.
Underneath the sky ring from his defiling, underneath the pain, heroines, they are not born, they are made. A phoenix forms, her ashes rise.
You talked about how you found a way into the song. When did you discover that, and maybe this is working collaboratively with the filmmakers, when did you discover that the song was right? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, the mantra was, monsters are made, not born. And the muses said to me, okay, wait, turn this around. Heroines, they are not born, they are made. And as I started walking around with this, I was guided to the idea of the phoenix out of the ashes. And then songs take you, they pull you into this world. And it took many, many, many days to write it, but I wanted to honor both stories.
Audrey and Daisy is playing in select theaters. It's available on Netflix now. New music, new album, and tour from Tori in 2017. We look forward to that. Nice to see you, Tori.
Good to see you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.